Chapter 12. I'm going.
You're staying in bed.
I scowled at Grayson, who blocked my path. It was the night of the duet, and even though I wasn't looking forward to making an embarrassing spectacle of myself, I did give my word to Frankie and Mark.
They'll understand why you have to back out. Please go back to bed. One day is all I ask. You were just released from the hospital this morning. Then the police questioned you for the rest of the morning. It's too much. You need rest.
And then I relaxed in bed for the rest of the day. I've had plenty of rest.
You're only saying that because you're still on pain meds. You'll end up hurting yourself if you go out.
I can't sit here all day. I'll go for the duet and then come right back,
No,
he said, turning me toward the bed.
you'll rest.
Damn it. I'm not resting anymore. He studied my face, lingering on the bruise along my jaw and one high on my cheek.
I couldn't bear it if you were hurt again.
I'm going to dance for one song and then I'll come home. His eyes flicked up to mine.
Home? As in here with me?
Oh, that was a slip of the tongue. Yes. His brow smoothed and he leaned over to place a gentle kiss on my split lip.
One song and then we come home. I don't see how you're going to dance when you can barely walk.
I can walk just fine.
You're stiff and sore.
That's because I've been lying in bed for nearly 24 hours.
Most of which was while unconscious.
But it was still resting. He held his hands up in surrender.
Do you need help dressing?
I can do it, I muttered, digging through his drawers to find something to wear until Frankie dressed me in God knows what. I was halfway to peeling off the shirt I had borrowed from Grayson that morning when my arms and back seized. Holy fish sticks! He was over in an instant, tugging the shirt back in place and stowing me back into bed.
Stay,
He ordered and marched out the door. I didn't really have a choice. My muscles were convulsing and twitching. I curled in an awkward position until my back finally untangled enough to allow me to lie flat. A tortured sigh escaped.
I knew you weren't ready to get up.
Grayson scolded as he flew into the room with medicine and water.
Take this. I won't hear another word about you going to dance.
It was my turn to surrender. Will you call Frankie and let him know? Grayson must have been holding his breath in anticipation of an argument, because he let out a long, slow, and very relieved breath.
I'll call him in a few minutes.
He finally said, rearranging my pillows.
Are you comfortable? Hungry?
I'm okay.
Do you want to watch a movie?
Will you watch it with me?
I'd love to,
Can I pick the movie? He smiled.
as long as it keeps you in bed.
What are you doing here?
A voice demanded. Playing, I said, not bothering to look up at Remy as I threw 2 chips into the pot and winced as a muscle tweaked.
Why aren't you in bed?
I leaned back in the chair and flashed my eyes up at him. I take it you spoke with Grayson.
He called to ask if I could keep my eye out for you. Why aren't you in bed? You look like hell.
I feel like hell, I muttered. The pain meds were wearing off and I only had a few more pills to ration.
Come to my office, I want to talk.
Let me finish this hand, I said, raising the pot. I'll be there in a minute unless that moody cocktail server gets me first. Remy glanced up at the cocktail server who had been circling my table with glaring eyes. As soon as she realized he was watching her, she lit up with a beaming smile. He rubbed his forehead.
I'll have a talk with her later.
I shrugged and then winced as a muscle contracted. An ace appeared on the turn. I grumbled, tossing my cards to the dealer. With the entire table playing the hand, someone was bound to have an ace, making my queens garbage. Let's go, I said, pushing back from the table and pocketing the remaining chips. I've had enough for one day. Remy led the way to his office and back, avoiding the cocktail waitress. You slept with her, I stated. He faltered a step. Did you know she was crazy before you slept with her, or did you figure it out after?
Jet.
He warned. After, I concluded, Men are always the last to know. His brooding silence confirmed it. We rounded into his office.
So what happened?
He asked, closing the door and settling into his chair. I sunk into the chair opposite of him. Someone tried to kill me, I said plainly, though I wasn't feeling nearly as calm as my exterior appeared. But that was because it was too stiff to appear like anything else.
That's what Grayson said. He's worried.
I gave a nod. I know he's worried. I'm worried too. I've been in this situation before, and it's not something I want to relive.
It's different this time. We knew who wanted to kill you before. Now we only know the shape of his hands, which is completely useless. Why would someone want to kill you?
That's what I've been asking myself. I shrugged and then winced. I really need to stop moving. I have no idea why anyone would want to kill me. I have nothing that anyone would want. I have no money, no secret data, no connections. I'm a homeless poker player. That's all. Remy picked up on the homeless part, and I silently cursed myself.
You're staying at Grayson's, right?
I have been.
And tonight?
I shrugged. Damn it, I growled as muscles clenched and seized. Remy was at my side in a flash.
Where does it hurt?
My shoulder, I cried. I shrank away as his large hand descended.
Sit still.
He ordered. It hurts,
I know. I'm trying to help.
he said, his large hand still coming at me. I tried to move away, wincing as my muscles knotted tighter.
Jet, sit still.
You're going to hurt me. He stopped.
Why would I hurt you?
Do you see how big your hands are? Not to mention you have a tendency to throw me over your shoulder like an angry gorilla.
I promise it won't hurt.
He touched my shoulder lightly. I flinched, ready for it to turn into a death grip.
Relax.
It's hard to relax when you're barking at me. I heard a great gusting breath and a muttered curse.
I'll be gentle, I promise. Just relax and I'll make you feel better.
But you're really big and... The office door flung open with a bang. Startled, I swung my head to the door, straining every muscle in my back and neck. Expletives a nun would faint at burst from my mouth. Apparently, everyone else must have fainted too, since it was a few beats before a woman shouted,
I knew you'd cheat on me with her. How could you?
How can I cheat when I'm not even dating you?
Remy asked, dumbfounded.
Is there something going on here?
A familiar male voice asked. I moaned and rested my head on Remy's desk.
Kitten?
I peeked up at Caleb, who was behind the fuming cocktail server. What are you doing here? I asked.
How could you?
The woman interrupted with a cry, glaring at Remy, who looked as if he had a headache that wouldn't go away.
Why would you want her and not me?
Jet is in pain. I'm trying to help.
He answered, gripping onto his last thread of patience. Caleb's eyes raked over my knotted form, taking in the splotchy bruises. He brushed the bristling server out of the way and knelt beside me.
Kitten, what happened?
His fingers tenderly grazed my cheek.
Were you in a car accident?
I could hear how you were trying to help.
The argument continued.
I'll be gentle, but you're so big.
She squeaked in imitation.
Not that it's any of your business, but I was trying to massage her shoulder.
Remy said.
I see the way you look at her like she's a rare jewel.
Remy cursed and squeezed the bridge of his nose. You're wrong, I interrupted, hoping she would cease caterwauling for a moment to let my head rest. She crossed her arm with a scowl. Remy doesn't think I'm a rare jewel. He thinks of me as an annoying sister. If he thought I was a jewel, he wouldn't manhandle me all the time. I'm more of a sack of potatoes to him.
Manhandling is a form of foreplay.
The server turned wide, pained eyes at Remy. The woman had a screw loose. Remy and I both grimaced. I think you missed the point, I said. Remy doesn't want me. He was telling me how much he likes you and can't wait to see you again. He was only helping me out because I'm hurt. Her face hesitantly cleared. She peered up at him with soft, watery eyes.
Is that true? Do you want to see me again?
Remy took a step back in horror and shot me a piercing look. I would have shrugged off the murderous glare, but that's how we ended up in this predicament.
We need to talk.
Remy growled, taking her by the elbow, hauling her out the door. Her face was turned up at him in adoration. Before he swung the door closed, he barked at Caleb.
Don't let Jet out of your sight tonight. She has no place to stay and someone tried to kill her.
My mouth dropped open. Damn him! Remy said that in retaliation. He confirmed my thoughts when his murderous glare twinkled for a split second, then darkened again as he hauled the server out and slammed the door. Caleb and I stared at the closed door for a moment.
I can honestly say you keep life interesting.
Caleb said in his nonchalant way. It's not me, it's everyone around me.
You're like the sun that keeps them all in orbit.
Caleb teased, reaching over to rub my shoulder.
Where does it hurt?
Everywhere.
And was Remy going to massage everywhere?
Not you too, I muttered.
No, not me too.
He said, soothing my shoulder.
But I must admit it did sound condemning. My heart stopped for a few beats before I realized the situation couldn't possibly be what I heard. I trust you. I know you'd tell me if there was someone else.
I froze at his words. My stomach knotted and clenched as painfully as my shoulder.
Come home with me. I'll work out the kinks while you tell me what happened.
I shook my head to protest, seizing my neck in an awkward position. My breath escaped in a shuddering hiss.
Why must you always try to be strong and independent? I love that you are, but let me take care of you. There's nothing wrong with allowing others to help. Everyone has a person they rely on. I want to be that person for you.
I hesitated. Not because I didn't want to spend time with him while he massaged my aching body. I hesitated because I couldn't remember if I said I would see Grayson tonight. I don't think I did since this was Caleb's date night, right? Or is it the other way around? Oh, hell.
I'll even update you on my leads.
Caleb added, yanking me from my thoughts. Did you find Jessica?
I'll answer all your questions while you're comfortably naked in my bed.
Naked?
How else will I massage the oil in?
Oil? I repeated like a squawking parrot.
Warm oil.
He drove a hard bargain.